I almost just said good morning. But hello. Hello again. Earlier today, I said that I would go back on Instagram and do a wee little live stitching another one of these up whilst David is at rugby training. I'm just gathering the colors, as you can see. Okay, perfect. Hi. Is it Ciara or Sierra? Because knowing me, I will get it wrong. Pickup Stitch says, good afternoon from Maryland. It is 7 o'clock at night now here. So I've just poured myself a glass of wine and I decided I would do a bit of stitching with you all before Love Island at 9. I keep wanting to say good morning to everybody, but it's definitely not morning anymore. Okay, I'm just doing, if you've watched the previous video, the live from this morning, because it's just one strand. Yes, I've got a freckle on my finger. I like to do a couple different knots all on top of each other so that the knot won't go through the fabric. So that's what I was doing. All right, and I'm gonna do this one here. Let me zoom it in. And put it so that you can see it. Pickup Stitch says, it's 2 p.m. here. I have learned so much from this stitch along. Oh, that's amazing. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm so glad. This is going to be an awkward way to stitch, I think. Oh well. It'll be fine. See if I can make the other petals look like the first one. Or if they will all look different. Is anyone doing anything fun for Valentine's Day? Since that's today. Aw, Pickup Stitch are so sweet. She says, thanks for being such a great instructor. That's so nice. I'm trying my best here, guys. Yeah, so normally on Thursdays, David does rugby training because there's games on Saturdays for him. And then that's normally when I do my nails or do some stitching just for me. Something that's like not order related or not like, not something that I have to do, if you know what I mean. Sometimes I'll like take a bath with like some bath soak and relax a bit. But yeah, tonight I'm just stitching. Actually, earlier I made some little mini pendants for the Harborne Handmade Market in March, and there's another one in June, so there's that. And I made a little mini hoop that's just 3 inches. So I've been trying to do some things. Oh, you're killing me. Okay. Hi, Darcy. I reckon if you did the thread painting, it would look amazing. Darcy's so good at stitching. I don't know why she's doing this stitch along. Hi. How are you? How are you? Now, I'm not really explaining what I'm doing because I did it this morning. And it kind of seems silly to like explain it all over again because I think I took about 10 or 15 minutes just like talking about color and then the direction of the leaf and then the long and short stitch and then the difference between the long and short stitches that we did here and here. So I just thought I'd just come on in, just chat. I'm gonna have to finish it before kind of Sunday anyways, because Sunday we'll do a new stitch. Aw, Darcy. Darcy says thanks because it's fun. You're a good teacher. That's too kind. I just don't know how to take compliments. People are like, thank you so much. You're so great. And I'm like, I am not. One thing I do want to know, though, is how quick do you normally stitch? Like, if you know what you're going to stitch, like how fast can you like normally do it? Like, can you do it pretty quickly, or is it still like a pretty like a slow, like slow it down thing for you? Crafternoon Stitches says, ooh, live video I didn't have to wake up at 5 a.m. for. I love watching you stitch, so relaxing. Yeah. Surprise. I do like doing them at nighttime, but it's just the light isn't very good. And where I do my stitching is like right in the middle of the kitchen. So like, I don't want to make everybody like puke taking this off the tripod and like showing you around and everything. Plus it's like a pigsty. But I'm literally like, I've pushed the table all the way up to the sink. So it's like all the way, it's like almost touching the sink. And then, yeah, there's like, I'm like right under the old, like, sorry, one of the overhead lamps. So yeah, I would do it more often, like stitch in the evening more often, but like there's no real way to put like light in here. Okay. Pickup Stitch says she still is pretty slow because she's still pretty new. They're still pretty new at this. And then Laura Loves Flora says, what a treat. I struggle with this stitch. I struggle with this stitch. So seeing this again is perfect. Oh, good. It's basically the same, like techniques that I showed yesterday, but sometimes just seeing it again. Maggity Swaggity says, I think this lighting is pretty good. Well, that's good then. Because like on my camera, like when I look at it, it still looks pretty like, not dark, but just like not very bright. Where's my scissors though? I need my snips. Found them. Okay, and then we'll go in with the next darkest color. get like a proper longer one though, because I think I did this last time too, where I swear I've picked the same color again, but actually it was darker. When it's just one strand, you can't really tell very often. And if you go to Darcy's profile, who was just on here, Darcy Dolls, a lot of her embroideries are really, really, really small. And she'll show like a nickel or a quarter or a penny like next to the embroidery that she's done. So she must have that problem a lot as well. Where like, yeah, like choosing colors. Just because the one strand sometimes, when you have one, it looks different than when you have a ton, you know? Like those are the same color. Exactly the same, but when they're apart, I'm like, what? And you don't really want to put in all of that work. Yeah. Darcy's still here. She says all the time. I remember one time I was stitching in my living room and I don't have a white, like a daylight light bulb in there. They're like the yellowy colored ones. And I was stitching the lettering for this really big hoop that I had. And I thought it was black, but it wasn't. It was dark blue. And then I had finished almost all of it. And in the morning, I realized that it was like half black and then half dark blue for the rest of it. I was so mad. I was like, I couldn't believe that I had done that to myself. I was like, what have you done? And then, yeah, I had to start over. So there's that. Do you want it zoomed in more so you can see it a bit? Or is this all right? Like I said, I'm really just here to chat, but I know some of you are watching, so make it easier for you. Oh, Darcy, like, isn't it just heartbreaking though? She said, I did that too, the whole thing with navy instead of black. And like, because I store mine on pegs like this and don't always write the name or the number of the color, oh, I could have just hit myself. I was so mad. And like sometimes lettering, it just takes so long. It looks so pretty, but like it just takes so long. So guys, you need to write the number. Remember to write the number of the color because you will save yourself some disappointment. That knot's just gonna have to live there because I'm not gonna undo it. So yeah. Oh, Ian is here. Apparently he's not at training. Naughty. Darcy says that one was the size of a quarter and there was no way to take it out and I covered it with black the best I could. That's smart because there's no way you can take it out when it's that small. So I used to do those little pendants. I'll show you the wooden frame for them. Not the dandelion ones, the little mini hoop looking ones. It wasn't like those brand. Someone in the UK had laser cut them. And I got a couple different sizes. And I would do little thread paintings in them. So I think I said this morning, like one of them was like a beach and one of them was like a moon at nighttime on like a dark blue fabric. And then there was like a lighthouse. There was like a bunch of little like scenes that I did, some flowers, whatever, but like they're so small and like the thread would get so like built up on itself that if you made a mistake, then there's no way you're going to take out, because you take out like other layers with it. So you'd end up just covering it up, like you said, like as best you could, or like just stitching over top of it, so that if anyone ever like took it apart, they'd be like, oh, there's lots of things under here. Almost like those famous paintings when they like, I knew it. What is it, like X-ray them, or they use that like, I think I've just done it again. It's the back. It's that stupid knot that I couldn't get out. I'll tie it up later. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go back and make sure that I don't have any spots that, one, they're all starting and stopping in the same place, and two, let me see if I can zoom in, maybe you can see it a little better, but probably not, because like I said, like in my camera it's like a little bit fuzzy, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just checking to make sure that all of the white is covered and that they're not all starting and stopping in the same place. I think unsurprisingly, I haven't had anyone tag me in thread painting yet today, so I don't know what that means. Maybe I'll think it's too hard. I bet I'll turn on the lights tomorrow and be like, I'll look at it like in the sunlight and be like, oh my gosh, that's literally like straight across. Maggity Swaggity, I'm assuming your name is Maggie. I'm gonna call you Maggie. She says, do you use your hoop stand or holder all the time or only for videoing? Mostly just for videoing, but I'm not gonna lie, if it's a bigger hoop, I will use the hoop stand. I have shown how it works before, but if you're unaware, for mine, you sit on this part. So these are my 2 soup cans that are now out of date, I'm assuming. Yeah, 2019, so top quality stuff here. September 2018, so there's some weird chicken noodle soup I'm never gonna eat. So I use them to hold it up. Yeah, but normally you're supposed to sit on this part. So you put this right here under your leg and you sit on it, and then this part here will swivel over so that you can work on whatever you need to work on. But I just use mine on the tabletop. I know some people have like clamped theirs to the table, but for me, my soup cans, they work pretty well. So there we go. Okay, and let's see if we can't do something with these. Like tie them together or something. Okay. There we go. Amen. Can never go wrong with soup cans. Especially the old out-of-date ones, right? Maybe they'd still be okay. But probably not. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the darkest color. Poor David, it's raining right now. So he's at rugby training in the rain. Okay, so I've got the darkest color on left. Go left on left to do, I guess. I'm just making like 6 knots on the end so it doesn't pop right back through the fabric. Okay. Oh, there's Jessie. She's jumped off the bed. We'll see what she wants when she comes down. Bet she wants to go out, but I'm not letting her out. She can wait. Yeah, by the time I talk and everything, each petal takes for freaking ever, doesn't it? Hi, Meg. I was just thinking of you. I was thinking that I haven't talked to you in a while, and I was hoping that you're okay. Just because I'm nosy. Aw, Meg says, hi. Yeah, I've been a bit poorly. Oh, what a bummer. I hope you feel better soon. Dave has got a stuffy nose, obviously being around like school kids and stuff, you know, all the time. He always tends to get like a stuffy nose. But this one he just like can't shake off. And finally I was like, take some freaking medicine because the amount that you're sniffing is obscene. Obscene. Yeah, I'm good too. Thank you. Meg said, how are you? You know, just stitching. Just stitching. So I'm just going to go back through, well, that's what I've just done really, and just put a couple more longer ones in just to kind of, you know, mix it up. So we've got long and short stitch. So what do we think of this so far? You like it? You don't like it? I feel like I didn't fill it in very well right here. But you know what? I also put lines on this one with blue and purple. Do you remember from this morning? So once I do the blow dryer, it will be lighter. You know, you won't be able to see the dark color through there. So yeah, I did have one question earlier, and it was, why did I work from this way to this way instead of this way to that way? I just like going from the outside to the inside. I just think that it kind of blends it a little bit better, but you can obviously do the darker color first if you wanted to, and then blend the medium color and the light color into that. So maybe I'll do one more, but do it the other way, because I already have the darker color on, don't I? I'll do a wee bit more. Jessie's laying in the middle of the kitchen and she's looking at me like, please be done. Because I would like to go outside. And you're taking forever. I do think doing one strand though makes you feel like 6 strands and even 3 strands is like so chunky, like unbearably chunky almost. The other day I asked on my stories what everyone's favorite stitch was so far. And so many people put the wagon wheel. And that's really surprising because I feel like so many people hate that stitch. KP Crafties just said, do you know a good technique to embroider butterflies? So it kind of depends on what kind of butterfly that you'd like to do and how detailed that you want it to go. So if you want just like a stylized, like here's something that looks kind of like a butterfly, you could always do like some straight stitches or satin stitches for the body and then the detached chain stitch for each of the wings, just one. Or you could go like way balls deep and do like a whole like proper butterfly outline drawing and then use the split stitch to fill it in or the satin stitch to fill it in. It just depends on how like balls to the wall you want to go with it, you know? Let's just do a couple more over here. I've done it again. I've sewn my tail into my work. There we go. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna give it up there. KP Crafty says, okay, that sounds really good to use. I'm actually making a dress right now. I was thinking of putting baby butterflies on it. Yeah, so I guess it just depends on how detailed you want to do, you know? Okay, now the search is on. I know Meg just says, have you got some ideas for the March pattern of the month? I do. And I think it's going to be a Mother's Day one, and it's going to have a kit that goes with it. Do you want to see? Or do you want it to be a surprise? I'm just tying the knot a million freaking times. Hold on. That's the only thing I don't like about one strand. And a lot of people will do like a waist knot. So they'll start up here like this. Yeah. And then they'll start stitching over here. I hope this is the right color. I think it is. And then later you cut this off. So on the back it looks like that. Later you can cut that off and then you can either use your needle and go underneath here a couple times and stitch it in, or you can do a knot later, or you can tie the two ends together. So you've got the starting end, the starting point, and then when you're all finished, you'll have a little tail as well. So you can tie those two together. So that's another way of doing it. Oh, Meg says she wants to see the pattern of the month. Okay, hold on. I have it on my iPad still. And it's not like completely finished, so you can't like tell me it's crap yet, okay? Promise. Let's see. Okay, so as always with the patterns, when I have some kind of like floral wreath or something, I always give you like a couple different suggestions of things to put in the middle. So this was the first one. Oh, did I color it in yet? No. So here's the first one. And then here's the second one. And then, where is it? Oh, here's the third one. So it's the same border, but then just the middle part is different. And then I wanted to do one more that was like a cute, something that says like mom or mom on them, or mother or something like that, because March 22nd is Mother's Day. So I thought that might be like something nice. But I can't think of anything that's like not super, super long, because I don't ever want to stitch like a really, 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 really long middle thing. I guess you don't have to stitch it. I could just draw it, and if you want it, then you could have it. So yeah, so I'm gonna have, I think, 2 new kits, one of them being that one, and then I'm thinking that one will also be the pattern of the month for people who kind of don't need a kit, you know, because I always try to make the kits like PDF patterns as well, sorry. But I don't know, we'll see. I might decide on something else. Meg, you know how I am. I used to hate it when people said that, but Meg actually knows what I'm like, because I'm like so indecisive with the patterns. I want them to be like amazing. Laura says, those are so cute. How does your monthly pattern program work? So they're just on Etsy, and then every month I have a different one. And for that month, the pattern is $9.95. And then afterwards it goes up to $12.95. And it's just a different pattern every month. Normally I'll stitch it up with a little example, and then the patterns are like really detailed, so you get pictures of me stitching it up like as I'm going. So like pictures of each, kind of like step by step each part, and then that all gets kind of put into a PDF, and then you can buy it on Etsy. Sometimes if I'm like really busy, like around Christmas time and like October, November time, I was really busy, so I had Meg stitch up the October pattern, and she did such a good job. Like, was seriously so good. See, I think that I prefer doing it light to dark, because I'm definitely going to have to go back in with this and do the dark, long and short over top. Maybe I'm just talking too much and not concentrating. So yeah, it's really just, yeah, you can buy one month, or you can come back every month and buy them. They're not like a reoccurring payment or anything like that. It's just if you want it, you can buy it. Yeah, so I definitely prefer it the other way. Definitely prefer it the lighter to darker, because I feel like you can really blend the darker in. Whereas this way, it looks like I'm making, like I'm using the exact same technique as, like, you know, long and short, long and short, long and short. But for some reason, they're not blending as well. Hate it when I do that. I do it a lot. Aw, Meg. She says it was all the pattern. It made my stitches look good. Ugh, stop it. KP Crafty says, good luck, everyone, and have a good day. That was nice. And Host2B says, how many threads are you using? I'm using one. One thread. One single thread. Probably doesn't help that this is like a weird shape as well. A weird shaped flower. Okay, I'm gonna give up that and do the light color. So this is what I mean. When you're done, you can cut this off, or you can cut it off from the back. I have the curved scissors. So you can see they don't lay flat, they curve up. So it helps to not do the fabric. So you can tie them together like this, or you can knot them each, or you can go back and kind of slide them underneath your, like this. Yeah, and then you could just, and that should hold it fine for how it is. So yeah, I'll definitely have to go back and do this darker color again because it does not look very nice. Yeah. So there, you learn. Now I know for lives they only let you do an hour, so feel free to jump ship if you need to. I think I've only got like 10 or 20 minutes left maybe. Hi, Sarah. Why does this one look so fuzzy? How are you? Honestly, just a couple longer stitches help sort it right out. Like you can't even tell that it's a straight line anymore. Whereas before I was really hating it. So all is not lost, guys. If you think, oh my gosh, mine looks like shit. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah? It will be fine. Just add a couple more. You'll be good. Oh, thank you. Sarah says, loving the shading on the yellow one. Yeah, so this is the paid pattern for the February stitch along. And we're doing thread painting for this one. So it's long and short stitch. And then this is also long and short stitch. This is one strand, this is 6 strands. So you can see how different it looks. Okay, and I'm gonna do this last bit of light yellow to the tip, just to the tip, the very tip. And then I'll leave you be for your Thursday evening. Honestly, I didn't realize how much I used my middle finger's fingernail until I broke it off. So now it's so short again. And I use it all the time. I didn't realize how much I used it for embroidery until it broke. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't work very well. Again, just making 100 knots. Darcy says, will this one have a center? Yes, but we'll do that later, like almost the very last day, or the second to last day, I think. We'll go around and kind of do different things for the centers, like French knots or satin stitch or split stitch or whatever. So that's why we haven't done any centers for any of them yet. Oh, Melissa's here now. Hi, Melissa. But feel free if you already know. If you already know how you want to fill it in, feel free to fill it in if you want to. But I know some people, they're not so sure about how to fill it in. So I thought we'd do like a whole day of filling. It's only 7:45 here, Melissa. I know I go to bed early, but I don't go to bed that early. I always forget. She said, I always forget the time. Darcy says, I'm doing exactly what you say. Oh my gosh. You guys are so funny. Yeah, a lot towards the end is like I'll show you how to do it, but then you can choose for yourself like what stitch you want to use, or like what was your favorite one. You can fill it in with that one. There's even a couple leaves that I have as like freestyle, so you can decide. What is this floating leaf here? I've just realized it. Oh, it's from this one. I was just looking at that thinking, oh my God, what is this? But it's definitely part of this. I'm like a squirrel, I guess. I was like easily distracted. Yeah, Melissa. Melissa says, okay, so you're 5 hours ahead of us Eastern time. So yeah, I'm 5 hours ahead of Eastern time, except when it's daylight savings time, because either we have it before you or you have it before us. I can't remember. And then it makes it 4 for like a week or 2 weeks. And then it goes back to 5. Just to confuse you even more. Well, I'm glad I've done 2 of these, because then I only have to do 1 on catch-up day. And I have to do my other woven wagon wheel rows. Melissa says, I'm basically the dog in the movie Up. I can't watch that film anymore because I just end up crying. She said, something shiny is always catching my attention, like your little leaf that you just noticed. Yes. You'd think that I would know because I made the pattern, but obviously not. Jesse's just looking at me like, please will you stop? You're embarrassing me. Okay. I'm almost finished. She's done a really big stretch. Stop nudging that. Stop. Stop. It's my tinned boxes that I got for my birthday from my parents, the DMC tinned box collection, you know? The Etool and, what's the other one? Like the special colors? There's a silver box and a gold box. And I got one for my birthday and one for Christmas. Only because apparently my dad went to go buy them from Michael's. And he's like, one of these is like $70 and one of these is like 20 or 30. Why are they different? And the lady was like, I don't know. Listen, I'll just give you them both for 30. So I don't know how he managed to do that. But he did. So I have a feeling that someone from Michael's might not have a job anymore. Because that one box is so expensive. And they were like, we know you like thread, so there you go. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. Have I done it again? Yep. Yeah, but I feel bad for that person, like if they have to like make up the difference or something. Jessie, just wait 1 minute, okay? I'm literally like 5 stitches from being done. Thank you. This is also where like stitch direction is like a big thing too, because if I did like one stitch across the middle, it would like totally stand out. So you really want to keep them all going in the same direction, which is why we did the purple lines this morning. If it doesn't make any sense, then when I'm finished, you can go back and watch the live from this morning for the paid live. Ow, man. Did it. Time to be done, I guess. Okay. So I've done 2 leaves today. This one and that one. And then this one I did this morning. Fancy J92 says, where are you from? I started following you and would watch your videos on silent when putting my baby down for a nap. Then you had an American accent and it threw me off. Yes, so I am from Ohio, from Toledo. And I grew up mostly half the year in Toledo, half the year in Michigan. And yeah, then I moved to China for 5 years and I met my husband there. And he is, oh, Jessie, you stink. He is British. He grew up in Solihull. God, you guys, I'm not even joking. That's disgusting. Which is just south of Birmingham in the very middle of England. So yeah, when we decided we didn't want to live in Shanghai anymore, we decided to move with his family to England after we got married. So I've lived here since 2015. So that's why I don't sound British. All right, I think that's it from me. I think Jessie needs a poop because she's just farted something horrible. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me stitch, talking about nothing. And yeah, I'll see you in the morning on Valentine's Day tomorrow. So enjoy your evening and I will talk with you. Meg, I will talk with you later. Bye.